How important was it just to get started with this one, just to get a win?
That was a fun night. Obviously it's always fun when you win. I really liked the way we played. Andy wasn't really on his game tonight, but I told him he was like Pacquiao. Yeah, he was bobbing and weaving, but he was able. I thought he got good in the 6th and 7th. He was up in the zone. You walk 6 guys, you hit a guy, you expect to be in some jams. He got in some jams. He pitched out of some jams, which was huge. And then, Stephen Kane and Kyle and Andrew Lee finishing off for him. I thought that the at-bat of the game for me, we could talk about Andrew's home run and Nick's home run. Those are special deals, and that's what fans want to see. But I think that special at-bat was Parker Wormsley walking to get Nick Senzel up, who's really seeing the ball well right now. So Parker walks as a 9-hole hitter that we flip over the lineup, and Nick comes up after having a great week of 3 home runs. Could have got selfish and tried to lift another ball. He stays through a ball and hits the ball through the 4-hole to score 2 runs to make it 5-1. Those were 2 great at bats. And the inning started with A.J. Simcox leading off with a drag base hit. So fundamental, good baseball that inning, and I'm proud of these guys. I thought the atmosphere was tremendous in the dugout. They were playing for each other, and it was just a good win overall.
You mentioned Parker's at bat. That was obviously critical to keep that thing going. What did you see kind of changing him after he falls behind 0-2?
Well, he just kept battling. He kept battling, and Ross Mitchell kept trying to nibble, and he was laying off those pitches. And I know in their scheme of things, they probably didn't want to walk Parker right there with Nick on deck, and they know how hot Nick is. But he battled through that at bat. I think it started out 0-2, to be honest with you, and he was deep in the count, and he got to full count, and then ended up walking, and I knew that was a big break for us.
You mentioned Andy, pitching out of jams. Just what did you see him do when he had guys on, especially even after he gives up that run on the first, he comes up with a strikeout to make sure he doesn't give up a second run.
Well, that was there's a saying that I have sometimes when guys come to the dugout, that's a big one, okay? You never want to give up a run, but that was a big one instead of a 2 or 3 that he prevented. You never want to start out a game climbing way uphill with a crooked number. Andy he's kind of notorious for it. He comes out and he's a little amped up early on, and his pitches are up in the zone, and then he kind of, as he tired a little bit, I thought he allowed his ball to start sinking a little bit more, and he started getting more ground balls and not as good as swings later in the game.
I mean, obviously, do-or-die situation, need a little help. Did you sense any difference in the team's focus going into this series versus maybe the past couple, or just what was the?
No, I heard what Nick said before I came in here. We may have had our best practice of the year yesterday. Fun, a lot of laughing, a lot of energy. We're not making this bigger than it is. We know what we've created at this point. I just want to go out, no matter what happens with other teams in this conference, I just want to go out with a good feeling for these guys. It's tough to have a good feeling because it's been such a rocky season. But if we can finish, if we could cap off, no matter what happens, our season going 4-0 in our last week, which would be our longest winning streak of the year, amazingly, it would be a good feeling going into the off season.
Obviously, 4 guys who are usually on the active roster are not. What kind of all went into that decision?
Well, again, I want to focus on this weekend and this team and the seniors that will have their special day on Saturday. But just like every year when school kids out, I have to make decisions with injured guys and guys that I just don't feel that need to be part of our team the rest of the way. There's a lot of rumors out there that guys have been dismissed. I did not dismiss anyone from the team. I excused guys from the team and just sent them home for the rest of the summer. I will do what I usually do, and at the end of the year, I will sit down and have an end of the season meeting with all those guys, and we'll come up with a decision what's the best for our program and for their careers. But no one has been dismissed. I just decided in the last weekend I was going to put together the 27 guys that I felt was going to give us the best chance to be successful as a team.
I understand if you don't. Go ahead.
There's still team members who are just not on the active roster.
Yeah, it's every weekend I have to make a decision, whether we're at home or we're on the road. I have to make a 27-man roster. And sometimes we have the guys in the dugout. I've just decided to shorten our roster for the last weekend, and we move on.
What was the players' reaction to the news?
I made my statement. I'm going to stick to my statement. That's an in-house deal, and I never feel good as a coach about removing guys from the dugout. But again, I had to make the best decision for this program as we move on this weekend.
Just to ask it, I understand if you don't want to go there, but why not those 4 guys? What led you to decide that they didn't need to be a part of the team anymore? Not part of the team.
Like I said, I hope you just respect what
I do.
It's there's nothing they did.
Mm.
It's just I just feel I have the choice to decide who I want to be part of the team this weekend, and I made that choice.
That's good. Do you know anything more about Brett at this point?
Yeah, Brett threw well today on the side, and there's a pretty good chance that we'll see him at some point on Sunday or Saturday. I'm sorry, on Saturday. Obviously, we probably can't expect for him to go long into the game because it's been more than 2 weeks since he's thrown. But I'd be shocked if he doesn't ask for the ball Saturday.
Thank you.